everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today we have a WIP Chat, but quick, if you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay, and I do mainly diamond painting and some other crafting-related content, and I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Let's all be friends. If you've been here before, hi, welcome. So, if you are new here, or you don't know what a WIP Chat is, a WIP Chat is when I work on my current WIP, WIP, which is Work in Progress. I am currently working on my Alice in Wonderland kit called Golden Afternoon. It is my entry to Alice in a Winter Wonderland. I will leave the unboxing up in the eye if you'd like to see that. I'm absolutely loving this kit. And I just put white drills in a white container. So that should be fun, a fun way to start. But anyway, if you don't know what a WIP Chat is, it's when I work on my current WIP, and you can work on whatever it is that you are working on. You can work alongside with your own WIP. You can be working on household chores. You can be working. You can be driving. You can be pretending to work. Whatever it is that you want to be doing. There is no right way or wrong way to WIP Chat. This is like a good, almost like a podcast in that sense, that you can just have it on in the background. You don't really need to be paying attention. You're more than welcome to watch if you'd like. All you'll see is progress happening. I am recording on a new device, so this is my first, like, big video since I am attempting to not record with my cell phone anymore. So if there are any issues with the audio or the video or anything like that, guys, just let me know, all right? You can let me know down below. You can shoot me a DM, whatever it may be. But you may or may not hear it in my voice. Sickness has hit our house yet again. I am definitely feeling better, but my voice is still a little worn out. But anyway, I am so excited. I hope that you guys have all been having a lovely day, a lovely week, a lovely everything. I hope your 2024 has been treating you better than your 2023, and I'm happy that you're here. So I'm really, really excited. The last WIP Chat that I filmed, man, I think that must have been 2 weeks ago now. My phone literally ran out of space while I was recording, like in the midst of it. So it just kind of cut off at the end as I was like, oh, I'm running out of space. And I just ran out of space. Another creator in the community, she actually sent me an old phone of hers that she is no longer utilizing, and wiped it clear. So this device is simply going to be just for all things YouTube for me right now, which is really exciting that I don't have to stress about erasing images of my kid, because that's been the big deal for me, is that I've had to erase actual footage of my kid, videos of my kid, photos of my kid, just so I had enough room to record. I would have to remove certain apps from my phone because they took up too much space. And at the end of the day, I do need a new phone. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, guys, I need a new phone. But I would love to be able, and I've been saying this for what feels like a couple years now, that I would like to separate my personal cell phone from my content creation. And this is allowing me to do that. So thank you so much. I don't know if she wants to be publicly praised or not, but if you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But anyway, I hope that you guys are all doing well. My kiddo is back at school after winter break, although she is home today when I am recording this. So I have the monitor turned down, but you may hear her in the background at some point. You may hear the dulcet tones of Casper Baby Pants, which I think you guys have heard me talk about that. He is a kids musician, but he is actually Chris Ballou, the former frontman for the band Presidents of the United States of America. They were really big in the 90s. And I absolutely, I love his kid stuff. So if you have a small child, or you are babysitting a relative, or you have a grandchild and you are tired of like kids music that's out there, I'm telling you guys, Casper Baby Pants, his stuff is super, super fun and entertaining. And I don't say that lightly, because if you've ever had to spend your days with a small child, and I know my kid's not that little anymore, but she still listens to his stuff, if that gives you any indication. But But like Cocomelon, Baby Shark, like that kind of stuff, you can only listen to it for so long before you're like, I'm going to lose my mind. I am going to go cuckoo bananas over here. And so we listen to a lot of Casper Baby fans, and she quite enjoys it. And as a parent, I have to say, so do I. So anyway, I hope that you guys are well. I am really excited. If you guys watched the slideshow updates for weeks 1 and 2 for the event, yay! But if you watched it, you saw that I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. If you haven't seen it, I will link that one for you guys up in the eye. But this year, because I don't have as much time to commit to, well, I mean, diamond painting, but where did my pen go? I'm asking as if you guys know where I put my pen. Right here. As if you guys know where I put my pen. I'm just repeating myself because I'm writing down something and I'm forgetting. I don't have as much time to commit this year as I have in previous years to filming content, and again, with the issues with the storage on my phone. So instead of doing my weekly featured account through my WIP Chats, I will be doing some pop-up lives, and there will be something extra special to go with it. So more details to follow. I'm hoping to get my first live in here in the next couple days. So if it happens, I hope to see you there. But I'm really excited, you guys. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, in previous years, I have done, let's rewind completely. I host a diamond painting event, if you didn't know that, called Alice in a Winter Wonderland. And there's entire playlists on it. There's announcement videos, all that stuff. January 1st through February 14th of each year, I host a diamond painting event that is Alice in Wonderland or Alice themed. And any kit that fits that criteria, you are welcome to use. It just has to be a new start. I do have an entry form, and there is an exit form this year. The exit form is now posted Instagram, Facebook, and oh my gosh, on my community tab here. Does this picture look really dark, or is that just my angle? Hopefully it's not too dark. Although maybe I just put my flash on. I don't know if that'll help. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, I am trying to make things a little bit easier on myself this year, and I thought I had all the colors out I needed, but I didn't, so I'm grabbing a few extras. But I am excited. I've always done this thing called a featured account, and what I do is I take, I put these little Easter eggs into my WIP Chats, and the first person to find one of them becomes the featured account, and then I take my platform, and I am not saying this because I think I'm like a big deal or have a big platform, but I know that I have a large enough platform that it's reaching you guys. So I use that and I showcase you guys, your talents, your content, your small business, your best friend's small business, whatever it is. And I've been doing that since the very beginning, and I absolutely love doing that and being able to do that. I'm still going to do that, but this year I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So once I have more actual hard and fast details to share with you, I will. Part of the reason it's taking so long is because I'm creating something behind the scenes that I thought would just be real quick and easy, and it is not. So, and I am too stubborn to cave and go a different route. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to share with you guys my week. I hope that you guys are all well. I hope that you guys have been having some lovely time. We've been a lot of cold, windy weather. We've had a lot of, we actually got our first snow in over 700 days, which is insane to me that it has honestly been that long. But, you know, it's one of those things. And then our builder, and I don't remember if that was this week or last week, or the week before, but our builder, so I live in a development, and until all of the houses are completely built, it's still considered private property. So he has his, like, construction vehicles come out with a plow attachment, and they plow our neighborhood. The problem is, they plow in everybody's driveway. So if you don't clean off your snow quick enough, you get fined, and then they basically just plow it all right back to the end of your driveway that you now have to go back out and remove all of the snow again. So that was super frustrating. And like, I don't know if there's anybody in our neighborhood specifically that deals with weakness or mobility issues, but it's really frustrating. I mean, my husband had to wake up like hella early the next day because it was already dark out by the time they came through, just so he could get out of the driveway for work. It was like, cool, thanks so much. And I live in a neighborhood that, how do I say this without sounding like a complete a-hole? I'm going to, and I honestly don't even care. I live in a neighborhood where everybody's bark is way bigger than their bite. And what I mean by that is everybody in our neighborhood always has, like, they talk a big game, but there's zero follow through. And a prime example is we have the town that I live in was built on limestone, so it has like major sinkhole issues. And we have a sinkhole that opens up in our common ground behind our development all the time, like all the time. And it is over and over and over again, and they do very, very, very little to fix it. Anyway, all these people were complaining about it and complaining that our builder and his company, they basically go out there and they just throw stuff in the hole and then try to fill it back up and be like, we're done. But if you're putting concrete into this hole, it's heavier than the land. So then it pulls everything and it opens back up. It is such a nightmare, you guys. And my husband decided last year that he was going to contact the news because they're not making any difference, and they take so much money from us in like HOA fees that goes towards that it just like something needs to be done. And so all these people are like, yeah, let's stick it to the man, blah, 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 blah. So then my husband reached out to like a dozen of these people that were like, yeah, he sucks. And was like, okay, well, the news finally contacted me back, and they are looking for a couple residents to come forward and speak. And every single person, oh, I'm not available. The one person's like, I'm busy that day. Brian's like, I didn't even tell you what day it was. And he's like, oh. So it's really frustrating. So I had posted something on, we have a Facebook group for our development, and I was like, does anybody have his direct number? Because I didn't have it. And I was like, I'm really frustrated with them plowing us into our driveways. And everybody was like, yeah, but that's what they do all the time. Well, they used to do that. They still do it. Like, okay, that's not the point. The point is, if we want anything to change, we have to stand for it. If you just sit by idly, it's going to keep going the same way it was, and nothing is ever going to improve. And I don't know why that's difficult, because, like, I don't know why you think anything is going to ever get any better ever if nobody is willing to do anything. Ever. And it just frustrates me. So I called the number I found on Google, and I left a message, and then my husband called, and I was like, and you don't even need to know which house I'm in because you did it to all the houses. Did it make a difference? Probably not. But I'm making my voice heard, so that there's no question, like, the next time this happens, like, I'm going to call you again. I'm going to continue to call you. If you continue to act like this, I'm going to continue to do this. You know what I love? When you finish a color, you put it away, and then you see a whole chunk that you missed. One of my favorites. But anyway, that's not what you guys are here for. At least I don't think so. And none of you are my neighbors that I know of. But it is very frustrating. Like, the one year we had the overhead lights in our development were out, and we live near one of them. And it is, let me tell you, like, it is so dark because there's no other streetlights besides that one in the front half of our development. And of course, the builder tried to say that wasn't his responsibility. It was the borough's responsibility. And the borough's like, no, you guys are private. That's your responsibility. So my husband said, okay, well, you know, if he's going to suck this much, I am going to take one of my days off and call over and over and over and over until something happens. And so he did. He left a message and he's like, just so you know, I am off today. So if nobody responds to this or no improvements are made, I will just continue to call back. And he did over and over and over again. And wouldn't you know, like the next day they sent somebody out and the light was fixed. If you want it to be a safe place for our kids to be riding their bikes or people walking the neighborhood or whatever it is, you're walking your dog and you're upset that the lights don't work, then do something about it. I just don't understand. And I know there are people out there who are non-confrontational, and I don't even think this is confrontational. This is about safety at this point. Like, you don't even need to interact with him directly. Just call, email, whatever it may be. But anyway, now that I've spent like 15 minutes rambling about absolutely nothing of true importance to you guys, first of all, how cute is his face? I can't wait for you guys to see this one completed. I'm loving you can see, that's not covered in plastic. There's another one here. This one has so many ABs in it. This darker color here is all AB. But anyway, kiddo went back to school. We are currently on a 3-day-a-week schedule for ice skating. So she started a brand new Learn to Skate session, which is always fun because then we're like, oh, who are we going to skate with? And we don't know any of the coaches that we're skating with this term. So that's interesting. But one of her little friends she's in a different level than Briar, but they have free skate together. So like they were skating together at the end, and they were both wearing pink jackets and black pants, and it was super cute to see them together. But it was nice. There's a very different vibe between the one session that we do and the other session that we do. And right now we're kind of trying to decide whether we want to stick with the 3-day-a-week schedule that we're doing, or if we want to adjust that. We know we are really not that far off from going from 3 to 4. Which if you guys are new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I have a kiddo in kindergarten and she is a figure skater. And for us, that currently looks like 2 group lessons and a private lesson a week. We're going to be changing some things up. I'll talk about it a little bit more towards the end. But so we had school and skating on Monday. I did my weekly run to the market. You guys, when I'm filming this is Monday. It's MLK today, and so my kiddo didn't have school, and I was like, great, I'm going to have to take her with me to the market. It's going to be a nightmare, and it was looking like a total disaster earlier because of how she was behaving. So I was quite pleased that our run to the market today was A-okay. But anyway, I can't wait. I know I'm going to be really sad when she goes back, like when she goes to school full time, but I'm going to be really sad. Like, I'm going to miss her, but also imagine all of the errands that I can run without having a time frame, like not having to rush back to pick her up. That sounds really exciting. I'm going to take a sip of my water real quick. Fun fact, so this is my McDonald's cup. I got my daughter a Happy Meal today because after we got groceries, we had to go to 2 different grocery stores, and I really didn't feel like coming home, putting all the groceries away, and then starting lunch as late as it was. So I was just like, you know what? I got her, they have the Squishmallow. I got her the Squishmallow Happy Meals. Did you guys know that they can't ring you out without a drink? I'm like, what? Because the last time I went and got her one, I got a bottle of water, and I got an upcharge of $1 for a bottle of water. I was like, well, I didn't really need the bottle of water. She doesn't need anything else. So it turns out that the soft drink is included in the kids' meals. If you want milk, juice, or water bottles, they're all extra. And I'm like, I don't understand. So you make your strides by trying to make Happy Meals a little bit healthier, quote unquote, by adding in fruit as the default. So you get fruit and French fries. But then you're like, well, we can't take it that seriously because, a 4-year-old needs a Coke. Like, what? So I was like, can you just ring it out as a soda and just give me a cup of water then? And she's like, yeah, it's going to say Coke on the screen. I'm like, I don't care as long as it's just water. Like, I just want ice water. Ooh, there was my Philly coming out there. Speaking of water, do you guys know what water ice is? Because I saw a video, I shared it in my story a couple days ago, that water ice is like completely like a Pennsylvania thing. And I was like, what? No, it's not. And I'm coming to find out from the poll that I put on Instagram that indeed people outside of, I'm going to guess Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Chris, if you're listening, you know what water ice is, right? But like, I can't, it's Italian ice, which the video, they called it shaved ice, which is not the same thing, but it's, and somebody, I don't know who the girl was that was being interviewed, and she was like, well, I don't call it water ice. 100%, it's water ice. It's not water ice. Which feels so unnatural for me to say water ice. And I try not to order water as much as, like, I really try to say water. Because I've had people just look at me and be like, what? I'm like, water? They're like, what? Water? That's definitely a regional thing, the way it's said. But yeah, if you guys are from outside of Pennsylvania and you knew what water ice was before I told you, please let me know down below. I am very, very curious because it is hurting my brain to really comprehend that this actually might be something not, like, outside of Pennsylvania. People don't know what this is. Anyway, so, the next day, my husband had to be at work at 7 in the morning. So originally I was going to let him take the car and then me and the kiddo go to the bus stop. But it was like freezing rain, super, super gross. And he just took an Uber. I was like, oh, okay. Trying to see what I want to do next. Let's do this color. Which means 1,000 times I'm going to stop and be like, which one am I working on? Oh, Lindsay. I really should flip my canvas. I don't have that much more. Then I'm going to work on whatever canvas number 2 will be. I think it's going to be the one from Carrot. Which I haven't even shared that one with you guys. So spoiler alert. Which reminds me I need to post that. Anyway. Is this the right color? It is the right color. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to question myself a million times here. Because all of this is purple, so it's not like, oh, grab the purple. They're all shades of purple. But anyway, so that was really nice that I didn't have to stand in the rain with her, but I still had to, like, stand in the rain to get her in and out of the car because, it's always when the weather's crappy that they're like, I don't know how to put the strap over my shoulder. She doesn't wear a seatbelt. She's still in a car seat, so I'm sure when we get to that phase, it's going to be the same thing. Like, I need help. Okay. Okie dokie. But, yeah. There was a kid at drop-off the other day, total tangent, that was sitting in the front seat. Now, I don't know what the laws are for Pennsylvania, but most states it's actually like 13 and under, and I was like, you have your kindergartner sitting in the front seat? Now, could they have climbed in the front seat after they got their out of their car seat or booster? Yeah. But, ooh. Anyway, I'm not here to judge, but I am a very big stickler for car seat safety, so that's fun. And I've been seeing so many people putting their kids that are way too young into boosters, like people that I know in real life, or people have been doing it where the buckles are like basically at their kid's belly button. That's hard. I need some more water. I hope I don't sound as congested as I feel like I sound. I probably do. I mean, such is life. I can't wait until we stop with the every sickness that ever existed I'm going to pass along to mommy stage. I appreciate that my kid's not being taken out with every sickness, but I don't appreciate that it's just being passed directly to me instead. Will it ever end? I don't know. But yeah, I was so bummed because I had a massage scheduled with my chiropractor's office that day, and there was no way. And earlier in the month I had to cancel, or maybe it was last month, I had to cancel my last chiropractor appointment because I was also sick. It's just so frustrating. Like, thankfully, I'm at a point now with my care that I don't usually, it's not the end of the world if I have to skip an appointment, but I waited so long for that massage. And it's like a therapeutic massage. Ugh, I'm so bummed. Because she was originally like, make sure you come back in 6 weeks. And they were like, oh yeah, we can't get you in for like 2.5 months. And I was like, oh, okay. So we'll see if I can get back in. Who knows? But anyway, I believe in the chiropractor. I love it. Do you guys see chiropractors? Let me know down below. I don't know why that's like tripping me off right there. The next day, I was feeling a little bit better, and I was like, you know what? I am really craving Olive Garden. You want to go get Olive Garden for dinner? And he's like, okay. So we did, and I did not expect that at like 5 o'clock on a Wednesday that we were going to have to wait, but we did. I was like, is there an early bird special? Like, what's happening? Why are there so many people at Olive Garden this early? Which, maybe they were looking at me thinking the same thing, like, man, there's a lot of us here. We all had the same idea. But I wanted to go early because I was just hungry. I hadn't eaten in a while because I wasn't feeling well. And I don't know why I was craving, like, listen, I am not somebody that's like, Olive Garden is amazing. It's good for what it is. It's not authentic. Okay, I know that. I just, sometimes you just crave like a Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo, I guess. I don't know. I did. And, okay, chain restaurants, specifically. Chain restaurants. This PSA is for you. If I'm going to Olive Garden or Chili's or Friendly's or, anything like that, and I'm looking up your menu online, I am not interested in seeing what your ingredients are so that I can replicate that meal. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Nobody's trying to be like, you know what I need? I need to copycat this recipe, and I'm going to do it by guessing all of the measurements based off the ingredients. If you want it that hard, you can look up copycat recipe, insert name here, and find it on Google, okay? But what I am trying to find out is if that item has artificial coloring in it. If you guys are new or newer to me, my daughter, we do not do any artificial coloring with her. Of course, things happen, but and a lot of people, they assume if something isn't red, then there's no red food dye, but that is not the case. Okay, I will tell you some things that surprised me along this journey is the amount of pickles that have food dye in it. Marshmallows have blue food dye in it. A lot of things have food dye in it that you wouldn't expect. And so Olive Garden has a kids fruit smoothie on their menu, and she's gotten it before. It has been a while. I tend to not try to let her get things like that. Not that I don't like smoothies, but I tend to not let her get things like that because then she's not really interested in eating her dinner. She just wants to drink the smoothie. Okay, but I was like, you know what? Let me see. Cannot find the ingredients anywhere online for their menu. And I am, like, I've had this issue with Friendly's. I reached out to their corporate, got no answer. They only have a book that includes the major allergens listed. They don't have the ingredients listed. And, like, it's easy when there's a ketchup bottle sitting on your table if you look at it to see. But I can't look at the ingredients of the foods and the drinks. Now, thankfully, the waitress let us know that the bar actually makes it and they can look for us. And unfortunately, it did have artificial flavoring or coloring in it. And so she was really upset because she really wanted this fruit smoothie. And I'm like, why do we need to add food coloring to a fruit smoothie? Like, nobody's ever been like, oh man, smoothies, they need to look more visually appealing. It's just really disappointing. But please, chain restaurants, nobody cares about replicating your recipe from your ingredients list. We just want to know what's in the food or the drink or whatever it may be. And I'm like super bummed because, like, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. But I know that one of their chicken sandwiches, because it is brine in their pickle juice and they use pickles that have yellow dye in it, that sandwich has yellow dye in it. Why does a chicken sandwich need to have dye in it? I don't know. Certain other ones they're breading, not necessarily Chick-fil-A, but other chicken places will have like food coloring in the breading or in the bun itself. It's just very, very frustrating. And I will email Olive Garden corporate to find out, but some restaurants, their mac and cheese is totally fine. Other restaurants, they use artificial coloring. It's like, listen, most places that don't have the artificial coloring just use turmeric to give it that yellow color. There's natural options. But anyway, that's not why you guys were here. But it was very frustrating. But anyway, as we were leaving, we saw a friend of ours, a couple, and it was nice. I haven't seen them in like forever. I saw them once with my husband was spending time with them. I was with the tiny human, and I feel like I never see them anymore. So it's nice to actually have like run into them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm trying to count. I can tell you guys, my concentration level right now is like, feels almost non-existent. Is that the color I've already done? It sure is. Okay. Just going to put that. Where did that go? Ay. If you guys ever wanted to know, like, do I like heavily edit my videos? Absolutely not. Because you just saw me go, hey, where did that go? And then lose my spot. If I was editing this, like, I'm heavily editing it, that would have been taken out. It's funny, I said in the one video how I don't really edit my videos, and somebody like messaged me and they were like, yes, you do. Listen, my idea of editing, with the exception of every once in a blue moon, like I have a fun little story. Like forever ago, my husband forgot I was recording and he was frustrated and let out a string of expletives while he was working on something that was not going his way. And then he just looked at me and he was like, oh crap. And I was like, it's all right. And I paused as soon as he started to talk and let it happen. And then I cut that little chunk out so that you guys aren't listening to him like swearing in the background. But that's like the extent. My idea of editing is I add in a thumbnail or an intro and an outro video, and like maybe add in a couple like memes or GIFs or whatever. And that's it. That's my idea of editing. I am not doing anything fancy because I want to be, well, besides the fact that I don't want to spend that kind of time editing my videos personally, but I want to be as authentic as possible. Like what you guys see is what you get with me. Like Lindsay off of YouTube is the same as Lindsay on YouTube. Like, when you come into my lives, that's the same person that you're going to see if you run into me in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I don't even know where I was at. Oh, the next day we had school and skating again. So, as I mentioned, we are in a new session, and it's interesting. The one session, my daughter is, in terms of ice skating skills, you have basic levels 1 through 6. And then after that, they've changed what it is now, but after that is the Aspire levels. But the basic 1 through 6, usually, my daughter is like basic 4-ish. They usually put 4, 5, and 6 together because there's not that many kids. And the one day, it's like her and someone the same group as her, or the same level as her, and then someone above her, I think. And then the other day, and I don't remember which day is which, and then the other day, there are sisters who have been put into, I think, basic 3. And there are a lot more people that day. So now all of a sudden, I think that group is like 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it is a little bit more chaotic just because you have a lot more basic skills. I know they're all called basic, that are still being worked on. Whereas in the higher levels, the basic skills are, I don't want to say mastered, but they've been worked on extensively. And there's a lot more like learning how to do a waltz jump and a spiral and a 3-turn and shoot the duck and all these things that, you know, you don't really start doing those till you're a little bit higher than basics 1 through 3, if that makes any sense. I know that for anybody who is like not at all interested in ice skating, like maybe this stuff is boring, maybe it's not, maybe you guys are interested in it because I'm just telling you about like our life and all that stuff, but I noticed the Thursday group is very different than the Monday group. That's where I was getting at. But we came home Thursday and my husband had been given a tote. So my husband works for Hershey, and they, in 2023, it was their 50th anniversary at Chocolate World. And so now that it's 2024, they have some Chocolate World 50th anniversary stuff that they can't sell for full price. And my husband was given a tote, like a tote bag. And it's one of those like reusable vinyl material tote bags. And my daughter eyed it up and she was like, I'm like, what are you thinking? And she's like, I wonder if I can get in that. Now, if you guys did not know, my child, I love her dearly, is a human cat. And she legit will be like, if I fits, I sits. And if you want to know how much can these tote bags hold, I can tell you an entire 35-pound 6-year-old can fit into this bag. She climbed all in and then tucked her head down. I was laughing so hard. And we were on video chat with my husband. He was on break. And I just took a screenshot of it because I was like, I got to get a picture of this. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, my kid, she's such a weirdo. I love her so, so much. But yeah, she used to climb into like diaper boxes all the time. And even when I was like, girl, you are too big for that. Like, you are going to sneeze and the whole box is going to break. No, I won't. Okay. Like empty wipes boxes, like cases, not like a pack of wipes. And she's long and lanky, so she's very flexible too, so she can bend really easily, but it was quite the sight to see. But yeah, that, now they have all their Valentine's Day stuff up, so I'm wondering if after that ends, if we're going to be getting some other, memorabilia or whatever, which I was like, he got a Grinch shirt that they could wear at work because there was a Grinch Hershey Kiss collection. Unfortunately, they don't sell anything or provide to their employees anything in like the big and tall sizes, so it wouldn't have fit him. So it became my shirt. But yeah, anyway. Was that it for Thursday? I can't remember. Yeah, I think so. So the next day, my kiddo she takes private lessons on Friday. And I'm praying that next year we'll still be able to do them at this time slot, but I don't know what time we actually get out of school when she's full day. And if that'll give us enough time. That's always very nerve-wracking. And our coach has like a super full schedule. Like I overheard one of the other parents saying, I guess she couldn't do lessons for a little bit, or she wasn't doing them because they were doing something else at that time. And then the coach like gave the time slot away. I was like, oh, okay. Which I totally understand. But as a parent, unless I was like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it anymore. Like, I would be bummed if it was sprung on me, which, again, I don't know if it was. I just kind of overheard it. But anyway, I had texted our coach recently because new year, new competition season. I had noticed that there was a local competition coming up. And I mean, like, when I say local, I mean, like, within a half hour of us. And we toyed with the idea of having her compete last season, and then we thought maybe she's not ready for it. And the conversation always goes the same way, that it'll always be there. You know, if she doesn't do it this season, we can always do it next season. But we don't want to push her to compete if she's not ready for it. You know what I mean? So, sorry, I spilled some drills over here apparently, and because stuff is on an angle right now, it's like sliding down the super fun. Anyway, so we toyed with the idea of like, okay, we'll talk about it. So when I got there on Friday, and she was working with her coach, and her music came on for her program, and I looked up and I was like, oh, this is different. If you guys saw the video for the live Christmas premieres, my daughter skating her full program was in that. If you guys would like to see that, I'll leave that one up in the eye. But she has been working on the same program now for a good amount of time. And it's going to be the program she uses for competition season, and she did it for the holiday showcase. So for us, we've been working on the same program for a pretty good chunk of time now. And I look up, and all of a sudden, the half pumps around the circle are now crossovers. And the slalom is now stroking. And the stroking is now a spiral. And, and now there's a spin. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're changing a lot of this. And so I was talking to her coach at the end of the lesson, and she had basically told me, you know, she could see that my daughter's frustrated because she hasn't officially been passed in the level that program is in, because she's struggling with one of her basic skills. And her coach doesn't want her to be able to just do it. Her coach wants her to be able to do it consistently and to be able to have it be mastered, because it's a basic skill. And so for us, the plan now is she's going to hold off on having my daughter compete for a little bit here and really just nail this new version of her program, which would be the next level up. And the hopes is that by the time competition season rolls around and she is ready for her to compete with this program, that she will have mastered that last skill and be in this level. That's the hopes. And I can totally see what she was saying. Like, it's been the same program she's been working over and over and over and over for quite some time now. I want to say since the spring, maybe the summer. I'm not exactly sure when she started the program. So, but this gives her something new to focus on, to push herself to do more advanced skills. And it's the same music. It'll be the same costume and all that. It just will be an upgraded version. So that's kind of where we're looking at. Is the hopes is to have her to perform in the spring showcase with the new one. And then there's a couple competitions in the summer, I think, that if she can get her to where she needs to be, that I think that's the next goal. So for us as parents, my husband and I have been discussing, as much as we love her learn to skate lessons, the next level of lessons is called Aspire. And Aspire takes basic 4, 5, and 6, and then a couple of the higher levels above that. And it's kind of an interim from the beginner group lessons to private lessons, even though we've been taking private lessons for quite some time. And the major difference between the Aspire program and the basic Learn to Skate program is they have on and off ice conditioning. So with this, she will learn stretches, and they will practice their jumps off ice and other things along those lines. My daughter watches the bigger girls as they do their off ice, and you can just see she wants to do that. She wants to practice her jumps and all these things. Now, it's the cutest thing in the world, because she'll just do like a little jump, be like, I did an axle, mommy. And I'm like, well, that was just you like spinning around. It wasn't an axle, but one day it will be. And, you know, and she's like, yay. which this week she actually did her first like real waltz jump on her own, which was really great. So we toyed with the idea. And so we, the next day did a walk on for Aspire to see if this is something. The goal, I think, for us is to change one of her learn to skates to be Aspire. So she would have one in the basic levels, one at the Aspire classes. So it'd still be basic levels, but it would be one with the on ice and one without it, and then her private lessons. So I think that's kind of like where we're at right now. You know, I don't want to push her too hard. But she loves ice skating and she loves being at the rink and she loves skating, and you know, it just makes my heart happy. And you know, I've had conversations with people. I had a conversation with somebody locally who I didn't know, but we just were talking online. And she made a comment about how, like, you're pushing your daughter way too hard. And I'm like, I'm not pushing her at all. Like, I kind of let her dictate how much she wants. And she only ever wants more. She's never said, I don't want to do as much. And I let her know because she's been talking about wanting to do T-ball again this spring. I'm like, listen, if you do T-ball, we might not be able to do the one ice skating because they kind of overlap depending on which team she would be on. And she's like, oh, well, I don't want to not ice skate. I'm like, well, you got to make the decision. I can't make that decision for you. I mean, me personally, I would love for us to not do T-ball again because T-ball was awful. Not that I don't enjoy T-ball. I didn't enjoy my daughter playing T-ball. I didn't enjoy the boys treating her like garbage because why is there a girl on her team? I didn't appreciate my daughter rolling around in the grass and wanting nothing to do with anything, and then kind of like running out when she shouldn't be running out and not understanding safety and body awareness and things like that. Things like that make it really a lot more difficult for me as a mom to relax. You know, nothing like your kid just running right into the dugout while a kid is swinging a bat. And then I got yelled at that game. That was fun because I quickly tried to get her to stop. And the guy was like, I don't need any of your yelling. And I was like, okay, well, she's about to get hit in the face with a bat. Like, I wasn't yelling at somebody else's kid. I was trying to get my kid to stop. Because I couldn't get to her because they keep the parents in a different area. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're here to talk about. But anyway, so we did do the Aspire. She seemed to really enjoy it. Right now, while this session that we're in exists, we're going to do a couple walk-ons and then decide if we want to do this on like a regular weekly basis, because that's also a Saturday morning commitment. And that also means, you know, we won't be able to do as many like last minute getaways if we want to go after school on Friday. You know, it just, I don't know as a family if we're 100% there yet or not to be like, hey, we're ready to commit to Saturdays being busy. But if you have a child, you know, youth sports, that's what happens. It doesn't matter what the sport is. And as she gets older, the availability of ice time is going to be less and less convenient and earlier because the before school is going to happen. But anyway, I don't want to jump too far ahead on that. But afterwards, we went to our favorite barbecue place. Now, listen, I am not sponsored. They have no idea I even have a YouTube channel. They have no idea I'm talking about this. I've talked about it before. If you guys are local or local-ish to us at all, if you are willing to make the drive to central Pennsylvania, Shakedown Barbecue is amazing. And they recently opened a new location. Uh-oh. Nope, she's just rolling around. Yeah, she's singing. Oh, God. You guys, when, like, she's like, I just want to make sure. Because I let her know I was recording. Again, this is real life. But anyway, they have amazing barbecue. So we went because it's really close to the rink. Hold on one second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. So it turns out my daughter was screaming. And I came running down the stairs because she said that she needed help. For me to find out that the help she needed was to tie a bow around a doll's neck. So, needless to say, Not super happy about that. I don't know how, again, this is real life. I don't know how to convey to this child. You guys can probably hear it in my voice because I am like trying to catch my breath from running down the stairs so quickly. I tried explaining to her that you can't scream like that unless you are hurt or you need help. When you scream as if the worst thing in the world is happening to you, and it's for a minor inconvenience, and I know to her this wasn't a minor inconvenience, but to me, when you can't tie a bow around your doll's neck, that's a minor inconvenience. So, damn, that's what it was. And I came in and I was like, what? Or like, what's wrong? And she's just like, I need you to help me now. And I'm like, okay. And so that's what it was. Anyway, I was telling you guys about Shakedown Barbecue. If you're local to the Harrisburg area, I highly recommend. They are amazing. It's a husband-wife duo. She works the front of the house. He cooks. It's amazing. The best barbecue. I love it. Anyway, how am I on time? Okay. You guys, I'm so frustrated because I had told her before I record that, hey, I'm recording. So if you call me, give me a few minutes. Like, I might not be able to answer you right away. But sometimes you can't tell kids excited noises from like, I'm hurt, I need help, or I'm excited. So this has been a really big like bone of contention for me of like, girl, you cannot scream like that. You cannot scream as if you are being kidnapped or you broke your leg for something really little. But I've got one more fun thing to tell you guys about. I don't know how much time I have now to really talk about it. But Sunday, originally, we had a birthday party on Saturday. Originally, it was scheduled for last Saturday, but that's the day the snow was scheduled for. And so the family, they had sent me an email and they rescheduled, which I was really glad they were able to reschedule and not just like cancel the party because that would have sucked, you know. But they rescheduled the party for this weekend that just passed. And so we were able to go to that. And so my daughter had ice skating in the morning and then she was at a trampoline park in the evening. So she was so worn out. And originally my husband and I had toyed with the idea of maybe taking her to see Cirque du Soleil. There was a Cirque show local to us. We live really close to the Giant Center, which is the stadium that has the like indoor concerts in the area that I live in, and it's also where the minor league hockey team plays. So there's always events going on there. We've seen Disney on Ice there, there's concerts there, there's shows there. So we had toyed with the idea, and originally, because he was off Saturday, we were talking about going Saturday, but then when the birthday party got rescheduled, it just kind of got put on the back burner. But him and I, we talked about it again. Like, he was working Sunday, so he wouldn't have been able to go. And I was like, you know, toyed, do I want to take her? Do I not want to take her? You guys, I made a decision literally an hour before we had to leave the house to let's go. Let's do it. And I said to her, do you want to go do something fun with mommy? And she's like, yeah. And I go, I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's going to be a surprise. She's like, okay. So I didn't give her any details. I let her know we were going to go see a show. And that was it. That was all she knew. So we had to take a bath, get dressed, haul ass out the door, drive there, park. It was insanely windy. You guys, I don't know. These tickets, I didn't know they were in the club seats. And they were the lowest price tickets because they were as far. They only seat in these kinds of shows, you know, if it's like a horseshoe shape, this part back here where they have all the backstage stuff, everything from here all the way around they will, but anything from here back they won't because you won't be able to see the stage. So we had the very last seats, but we were only 4 rows off the ice. And it was the Cirque du Soleil Crystal Show. So it was on ice. There were ice skating, acrobatics, and everything in between. It was unbelievable. But there is no greater joy in this world. And I truly, truly mean this. There's no greater joy than watching amazement through your children's eyes. Like, we don't have those moments very often as adults where things truly, like, knock our socks off or truly just amaze us. And of course, I had a couple moments of the show myself where I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. But the first time I had one of these kinds of moments was when my daughter went to the aquarium and a shark swam by, and I could just see the look on her face of like, oh my God, this is amazing. What is this? You know, so for me to be able to see that through her for the Cirque du Soleil show, it was worth every minute of scrambling, every penny paid for the tickets. I loved it. And this kid, she loves shows. Like, she loves Disney on Ice. I took her to a theater show for her birthday. She just really loves performance. And it was really, really wonderful to be able to have that moment with her. And then afterwards, we just went to a local bakery to grab a little sweet treat and a cup of coffee for me. It was kind of chaotic in the area. And then we picked up my husband and grabbed some dinner after work together. And it was a really fantastic day. And depending on, my WIP and Chat, my next one, maybe I'll get a chance to talk about it a little bit more with you guys. But you guys, if you have an opportunity to see a Cirque show and you haven't, that was my first Cirque du Soleil show. My husband saw one in Vegas through work a couple years ago, and he thought it was super cool. But I love the idea that this one was on ice. So it incorporated a lot of ice skating as well. She really enjoyed it. And there were definitely kids younger than her there. I don't know how much of the actual storyline little kids were understanding, because it's not really dialogue, at least the one we went to. There's some pre-recorded like talking, but the character's not on the ice talking. But oh my God, when you combine acrobatics and ice skating, which also happens on Disney on Ice, if you've never seen a Disney on Ice show, this is just a much more contemporary and adult way to do it. It was amazing. And I sent my husband a photo from our seats, and he was like, wow, you guys are really close. And I was like, I had no idea. Like, I had no idea. Just because the seats were off to the side, I was able to grab some. But yeah, I think this might be a good place for me to let you guys go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Again, apologies. I shouldn't apologize. I don't apologize. But hopefully it's not disjointed, me having to pause and run. But I'm here. Stay tuned to the channel. Hopefully there is more fun content coming for you guys in the near future here. But if you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me some sort of purple emoji, since we're working on the purple pansy over here. And if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, or, nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. One real life, one virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come, join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping, or like today, sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you on my next one. Bye, guys!